This segment of Naperville Sports Weekly is brought to you by BMO Harris Bank.
We are here at Benet Academy with senior captain Ben Kelly of the boys soccer team. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks.
So last season, you ended in a regional final loss. What went through your head after that one?
It was more looking forward after that because I knew that there was going to be another season. We had a lot of young talent. Obviously, I was confused about our loss because we went into the game thinking that we had the upper hand. We played well at the very beginning, but we didn't get the result that we wanted, obviously. So looking out of that, I looked towards the future. I was thinking of the upcoming summer, off season, especially with being in the weight room and doing training so I can better prepare myself.
Did you think that was kind of a loss where you guys were maybe looking ahead?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And what's kind of been the thing this year to make sure, even in each regular season game, that doesn't happen again?
One of the things that our coach has stressed a lot is starting off very strong in each game, more of establishing your position. So winning 50-50 balls, pressing hard, getting your chances, things like that. Because in that game, we were complacent and they caught us, with our backs to the wall, and I think that's mostly what brought us down.
Whose personality do you miss the most from last year? Maybe not the best player, just who do you miss having around from last year?
Probably either Conrad Bayer or Riley Gay.
Just kind of fun to have around.
They always communicated with me. They asked how I was doing. They were very open, and it was a lot of fun being around them.
What do you think the biggest difference from this year's team to last year's?
I think the biggest difference is not exactly having that one central guy that we look for at up top. We more like to play it into the target forward, but then play it out, trying to spread out the defense instead of playing it to one guy and more or less looking at him to beat two or three guys and take a shot on goal.
So you guys have one loss so far this season, came earlier in the year in the Best of the West tournament to Fremd. Have you noticed any difference in the team after the one? Because you guys have clearly responded very well. And let's be honest, you lost pretty good, 3-0. It wasn't a little 1-0, 2-1 loss. You lost pretty good. Have you noticed a big difference in the team since that?
I think it's more of our mentality, especially during practice. We go a little harder. We're more focused. We understand that going into a game, no matter how last season against that team we did, we go in thinking that it's a new day, anything can happen, and we have to go out and establish ourselves against the other team at the beginning.
Do you have any weird pregame rituals that you do? Could be food, anything you do.
I mean, other than listening to music when we go up, which is a lot of people's, no, nothing too weird.
Bennett listens to Party in the USA. Is there a certain song?
That was last year where
everyone did?
Everyone listened to Party in the USA. It was pretty funny, but no, this year it's more of more just individual music, nothing fancy.
Any team bonding stuff you guys did? Connor kind of touched on a little bit of something after the loss to Fremd. Anything that you guys do outside the soccer field?
Yes, we did. We got this guy over from Battle Tested, and we did a little team building workout type deal. So that was a lot of fun.
So Neuqua Valley had a crazy game last week, 3-3 tie. What was your takeaway from it?
I thought that we played very well in the beginning, or the middle of the game. We kept the ball, we did well in possession. It's just starting and finishing the game. Like I said, in the very beginning, they got a quick goal on us, and it's what we've been trying to stress is starting out strong, which we didn't do, and then finishing strong, which obviously they got a quick goal right at the end there, which set the tone kind of for the rest of the game and allowed them to get back and get more goals, which led to a tie.
Now, we talked about with Connor the end of the year, or excuse me, the end of the game kind of stuff. You guys weren't finishing games very well. Do you think that goes into any conditioning thing or mental? Because conditioning in soccer, obviously one of the biggest things there is in soccer. Do you think it goes into anything conditioning or mental?
I think it's the most mental. We can go into a game and thinking that at the time we were up 3-1, we might think that, we have a nice lead, but as soon as we think that and as soon as we start getting complacent on our passes and our possession, they can push hard and get right back into the game. So I think it's more of a mental thing, staying strong all the way throughout the entire game.
An interesting thing to kind of learn about some athletes is when you don't work out with a team, like when you're doing your own type of stuff, own conditioning, is there anything you do by yourself, workout-wise, to get you ready for the year? What kind of stuff do you do?
Mostly in the off-season, I'll go up into the weight room and I'll lift some weights. That allows me to be a lot stronger than most of the opposition I go out in there.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to struggle there.
No, definitely not. I've done some things with our track coach that allows me to run a little bit faster, movement throughout the body. But aside from those, nothing really major individually that I do.
What's your favorite soccer memory? It could be watching, playing, anything.
Favorite soccer memory was definitely winning the conference last year with Daniel Moorfield scoring the last goal against Viator. Our big rivals especially. That was a big game for us and a big game that we're looking forward to this year.
We got a couple different answers on this team so far. We know there's a discussion going on. If you could have season tickets to one soccer team in the world, who would it be?
Season tickets to one soccer team in the world? It might have to be Real Madrid.
I was going to say the Premier League's been the common thing so far. Real Madrid. Now you're going out of the Premier League. How come Real Madrid?
Real Madrid has always sparked my interest, especially with all the old FIFA games. That always used to be like my team, and ever since then, I've always looked towards them. I've always seen their games, liked how they played, and everyone can say that, oh, Barcelona's my favorite or Manchester United's my favorite, but I think it's a little more interesting when a guy doesn't go for the obvious pick. And
Connor said, "Man, you know right away."
No doubt. Yeah, I can see that.
No doubt. Favorite soccer player of all time, and maybe somebody you've modeled your soccer playing after?
Probably Zlatan. I really like him. He's very, very big. You know, he has a great presence on the field, and his intensity really allows him to do well in pressure situations and just all over in the game.
Do you try to model your game off of him?
I do in some ways, yeah. Trying to impose a type of pressure on anyone who's defending me or if I'm defending someone else. I like to sort of show them that I can, more if I'm a big opposition for them, that I like to establish more of a strength, dominance, and speed and try to overtake them in those aspects of the game.
Any trash talk on the field, or you just let your size speak for itself?
More or less let my size speak for itself. Very rarely do I get lost in the talking.
Any plans after high school to play at the next level in college?
I have a couple plans. I'm looking more towards IU. I've been contacting their coach a little bit. Soon, around October, I'm going to be going in. I'm going to see if I can get a meeting with the coach. I'm going to see if I can go out maybe to a camp, if I can get one in. And I'll be sending in some videos or some pictures and stats later in the year.
How long have you known that you wanted to play college soccer?
Probably at the end of my junior year. A lot of people have come up asking me if I'm playing, and you know, I asked them, I'm indecisive right now. I'm not really sure what I want to do, but as I got into my senior year, it's more of a thing as I think that whether or not I get on, I think it's a great thing to go out for, and it definitely could help me getting into the school I want if it's something that I achieved.
And a lot of people they regret it if they don't play sometimes.
Exactly.
So you at least take the chance.
Exactly, yes.
Well, thank you for joining us, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thanks.